Oh, let's watch this. I need something funny.
Women. Despite popular belief on Reddit, I
Something about animals later. I'll do a long stream.
love women. And despite popular belief on 4chan, I am a woman. And as I am filming this, it is currently International
Wrong!
Women's
There's no girls on the internet.
Day. So happy International Women's Day to all 7.3 of you.
What? Okay, I have way more female audience. Take that, Shoeonhead. That's right. Remember when we all flexed our female followers on Twitter and then Kyo came in with the unspoken soft Kyo Riz and he had like an insane amount of women in his fan base and blew all of us out of the water.
About male loneliness on this channel, but we haven't really touched on female loneliness, which although technically not as severe yet, is unfortunately a real and rapidly growing trend. The modern world does not seem to have a solution to this. All modern dating advice is just garbage. The future seems bleak, so maybe we have to look in the past. In this video, we're going to talk a bit about modern female loneliness, and then we're going to have some fun looking at some dating advice from the 1950s to see if we can find a solution there. Because what worked for our grandmothers surely will work for us, right? Back in the day when people would still go to malt shops and diners instead of femboy hooters, women dated men for more than just their wallets. Which reminds me, before we get into this video, let's quickly get into today's sponsor.
No, it's the wallet sponsor. I knew it! I fucking knew it!
During this channel, and thank you, the viewer, for not
Oh my god, she has different makeup than usual. This is freaking me out.
The number of single women in the US is expected to increase 1.2% every year from 2008 to 2030, compared to a 0.8% increase in the overall population. This will result in 45% of women between the ages of 25 and 44 who will be single and childless by 2030. Now, according to some people, this is apparently a good thing. More women being single and childless is a good thing. Society is progressing. Women no longer have to be chained up and turned into breeding cows. 1984. Apparently, single women spend more than the average family on travel, shopping, makeup, skincare, etc. So of course, some economists will twist this into a positive thing. But I'm not an economist. I'm your average, humble, working-class American YouTuber, slaving over a hot laptop, producing absolutely nothing of value to society. And I don't think this is a good thing. I think this is proof things are going very wrong. And if you look at the stats about how so many women are on antidepressants and how the female suicide rate has been increasing, there may be a connection here.
Yeah, wasn't there a direct correlation with social media?
Intimacy are a big part of the hierarchy of needs.
Yeah, it's not good. Actually, the declining population is a big problem for humanity, and like all of the countries that are doing bad economically, it's because of their aging population. Like Japan, they're like, I don't know if Japan's gonna be able to get out of their recession because their population is like fucked. And same with a lot of other countries.
Women are happier being
and we're probably next.
Single. I just think women might be better at coping with being alone and single. At least for a little while.
I just had like the craziest, saddest thought. I'm in the stage of life.
I don't know if women are good with coping about being single. They probably see
all my friends get married and have babies.
When you talk about the subject, a lot of men will point out that these women could easily get any man to sleep with. And I'm sure they know that. But sex isn't the only thing people are looking for. As I said in the male loneliness video, it would be relatively easy for a lot of these incels to just get laid, hire a hooker, and it would take the average woman like 5 minutes to find a man to sleep with. Just walk the outside. But casual sex isn't the solution to loneliness.
Yeah.
It's a band-aid. It's a way to fill your void with cum. Trying to find someone to love, to marry, to have a family with nowadays, it is incredibly difficult for both genders in this climate today.
Yeah.
It seems like nowadays the only acceptable way to do so is to...
I mean, we have no sense of community anymore. We don't. I was talking to my grandma and my aunt, and they were talking about like how they used to live when they were children, when they were young, and they grew up like in a village. So the community there was really tight knit, yeah. And the woman, they would get up before the sun would go up, and they would go together, and they would start prepping things for the day, and then they would like, gossip about things and talk and, tell each other the news of the day. But the men also had their own activities. They would meet up together. They would also plan different, they would do some trades. Like, okay, you have grain, I have this, blah, blah. And they would allocate resources and responsibilities for the day. But they also had like their activities in their community with other men. Like they'd go play cards at cafe. They'd go play those like games like chess and stuff like that, like board games, but for smarter people, not Monopoly. So, there was a sense of community. So everybody had friends, and I feel like we don't really have that anymore. There's no more bonding IRL. There's no more just chilling in a cafe for like 6 or 5 hours.
Right. We live in an increasingly atomized, lonely society thanks to a nasty combination of social media, technology, hookup culture, lack of community, lack of friends, lack of purpose, lack of money, late-stage capitalism, neoliberalism, and so many other things. And men are being told
Yeah, we have friends online, true. I am happy because I feel like we found a lot of friends online, at least.
Well, nothing. You're on your own. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. It's your fault. You built the world after all, and are increasingly turning to the few people who at least pretend to give a shit, who just wind up selling them poison that ultimately hurts them in the end. Like hollow materialism, eternal one-night stands, and vasectomies. Yeah, in case you were wondering, that's what the red pill has been up to. Telling their audience to just forget marriage and neuter themselves.
Oh, not
while
Pearl.
women, in turn, are also being sold very similar poison. About
Red pill is against marriage? I thought they'd be for marriage.
how it's good to be single. It's empowering. You don't need no man. Get on the pill. Sleep around. Climb the corporate ladder. And don't worry, baby. We'll freeze your eggs for you. But is this good advice for women? Or have we girl-bossed a little too close to the sun? A study on date psychology recently revealed that 48% of men 26 to 40 years old have not approached women in the past year, and 60% of men aged 18 to 25 said they haven't. In the entire dataset, 30% of men said they never approached a woman in person before. Ever. This also might be because, like I said, everything that isn't swiping right on a dating app nowadays is considered creepy. Don't approach women at the bar.
I am part of the statistics. I haven't approached a woman IRL outside of asking cosplayers for a picture in the last decade. Is it because you don't want to, you don't feel like it, or is it because of the fear of rejection? Yeah, I don't approach people in general. Oh, it's because fear of rejection, that's different. You know, like in the Golden Compass, when the little girl is like on the polar bear and she asks him if he's afraid, and he responds, yeah, of course I'm afraid, but I'm gonna control my fears. That's what you gotta do, man. You gotta beat your fears. You gotta find them, and then you gotta challenge them to a 1v1 duel, and then you gotta come out on top, bro. You got this.
Don't approach women at the gym. Don't approach women at coffee shops. Don't approach women at work. Don't approach women at the mall.
Women don't bite.
Women. We live in HR world, and it turns out
just talk to them like you talk to a friend. Easy. Easy. That's the easiest way. You don't even need to set up any expectation. No, you don't need to do any pressure. Just be nice. I just say hello to people I pass by on the street. I sometimes, our gaze cross while I'm jogging. I give them a smile. They smile back. We both feel happy after. Easy. Risk-free. Easy.
out a lot of women
just
like
wave.
HR world. Every time I see videos of women
Yeah, if you're shy or introverted, that's completely different. You're probably just not going to seek any kind of interaction then. Well, as long as you don't find a girl that gets the ick easily. I think if you give the icks to a girl, it's probably because you were trying to hit on her too hard. Like, I'm not saying go up to a girl and hit on her. I'm just saying have an interaction with a girl. like a friendly one, like as how you would talk to a friend. Until you realize you're in the friend zone, well, you just made yourself a new friend. Not everything's about relationship. Actually, my friendships have been so much more fulfilling to me than any of my relationship. So there you go. I think friendships really lift us up. Friendships are great, and friends last forever. When you're in a relationship and that relationship ends, you don't talk to each other anymore. But friends, that's for life. That's for life. Unfortunately, Miss Rima, there are countries where even something as simple as that can lead to men being sued and sent to jail. What country? Saying hello can send you to jail? Smiling to somebody can send you to jail in some countries. Bro, I've said hello to men in the street in America. If you actually think America's like that, you are doomed pilled. You're black pilled. Yeah, it's an over exaggeration because you're talking about cancel culture. That's completely different. Cancel culture mostly happens online. Yeah, I think it's a little bit too doom posting. There are people that are actually introverted that have trouble talking to other people. They're shy people. But you know what? You gotta find the extroverted person that's gonna force you to get out of your box, I think. Unfortunately, we live in a post-Me Too era. One mistake can completely ruin a man's career and image. Same as a woman. What do you mean? Same as a woman. Woman also too. Look at Fruit. 10 years ago, she was 19, made a mistake. Career ruined. Made several mistakes, even more. Sure, men have they have a harder time dating because it's like, you know, you gotta make your intentions clear, but not too much. You know, you can't look too desperate. But you gotta be cool and aloof. It's like, it's complicated. And a lot of guys don't know where to fall. They don't know how to act. And then there's the whole problem with, you know, some women, they don't know how to communicate well. So they were consensual and then later on they don't. But at the same time, yes, we're in a post-Me Too era, but I'm seeing the other side of the pendulum swing and it's swinging hard. People are sick of it. People are aware. And those kind of allegations, they don't have the same bite that they do 4 years ago. That's not true. I'm seeing the other side of the pendulum 100%. And in history, every strong shift to one side is countered by another swing to the other side. So I actually think right now we're in the other side. We're entering another era. Okay, there's a lot of comments. Hold up. Working retail when you're young is hella useful. Definitely helps you teach how to treat people. Yeah, I've worked retail when I was young. It's helped me a lot. In fact, in Argentina, there is an association that had to be made to compilate all the cases of fake denouncing that has sent more than 100 men to jail without much of a legal procedure. But they were probably not sent to jail for smiling at somebody, right? Like, that's not the first thing you said. You said there are countries where men are sent to jail for less than that. So you claim that people that smiled or said hello to people would put you in jail. That's not what it is. They've been put to jail for false allegations. That's completely different. We're kind of like mixing a bunch of things together right now. Yeah, exactly, Floranova. Oh, Rin, when I'm reading a comment, I post it on screen. I mean, unfortunately, Me Too it's made a lot of guys fearful of approaching women, especially in a romantic way. But that's why I advise the non-romantic way. But yeah, one person said, I'd rather let people approach me. I think that's valid. I think that's a valid tactic. I mean, you can tell me if you don't want me to show your comment on screen, you can just say it in your comment. I think letting people approach you is always a good thing. That's the most natural way, of being. I worry less about Me Too and more than they're spoken for, they're gay or they just find me ugly. Well, most people that are worth knowing, I'd say, wouldn't judge you on things like that. And if they do, then fuck them. Like, yeah, sometimes there's people shouting obscenities at me in the street, but I just ignore them.
Not being approached by men or being lonely. The comments and replies are always full of men like, enjoy your cats. This is what you asked for. This is the world you wanted, ladies. But was it? Not every woman is the blue-haired, man-hating feminist stereotype that you have in your mind. A lot of them want the same.
I've tried too many times to really care anymore. I'm at the point that if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, yeah, same. Yeah, no, I mean, totally valid. Totally feel you there. I think a lot of people can relate to that. Dude, that absolutely, the ramifications of being a spurg is 100 times were so true, so true. So, like, for some reason, yeah, if you are socially awkward, I don't want to scare people by saying that. And I don't want to instill fear into people by saying that. But it's true that it's like women get to be weird and strange, and that behavior is much more forgiven than men. But I don't want you guys to use me saying that as an excuse to not live your life, okay? It's fine to be cautious, but people can't have your cake and eat it too. If a person doesn't want to make a move, they shouldn't complain about their love life or how bad the date pool is either. All right, now I feel like this is targeted at me. What if I want to complain? French people love to complain. Like, if a woman is mentally unstable, that's hot. But if a guy is mentally unstable, well, then he's just a psychopath. You don't want to get close to that. True. I mean, if the girl was like, yeah, I guess it depends on if the girl's hot, she can be as crazy as she wants. Wasn't there a graph for that? Have you seen the Jeffrey Dahmer stance? I don't get that. That's crazy. But people have a fascination with murderers. Most psychos have huge followers. Oh god. I don't get the crazy girls are hot. Have you guys heard of the Yandere girl? Watch a video on that later. Exactly. I think the best, exactly what Lupin's saying. Just, making good relationships in general should be your main goal. And then if somehow it leads to a good romantic connection that's formed naturally, that's probably the best. I think hitting up people in a romantic way on the street or in a bar is, you got way more chances of failure. Part of it is just people fear and having a hard time to accept rejection. Being rejected sucks. The crazy to hot scale, that's what it is, yeah. Exactly, just be nice and eventually one of your friends will introduce you to a girl failure. But what if you don't have friends? Some people are pretty lonely in their friendships as well. And that's the most difficult part. And the problem is that people don't, they don't go out to hang out in places anymore. They're not taking, like, I don't know, you're not going to your book club every Sunday, so you can't meet other people. So I think for those people, it's much more difficult.
Same exact world you do. What you have to understand is society in the media is basically like her fat, ugly, drunk friend.
Exactly. Where the hell am I gonna make friends? I don't know. That's why I think maybe like online friends is gonna be the new meta. I'm not sure how people do it nowadays because like I've just had the same friends for years and they haven't changed since high school. And when I was in high school and I moved out on my own, we didn't have like internet, we didn't have a TV, so we were forced to just find ways to pass the time. So, would call your friends, you'd hang out, you'd go to the park, I'd bring my dog to the park, there'd be other dog owners there. Our dogs would mingle, so you start talking about the owner. Oh, what's your dog's name? Oh, Henry. Okay, cute, cool. You meet people that way, or we'd go to a bar after, or we'd meet our friends, and we just, I don't know, we'd pass the time. But then it was an easier time back then. Things weren't as complicated. We had more time. We had no responsibilities. It was different. Just the other day, I walked back onto a street because my cousins were in town, so I was taking them out. Walked back on a very busy street where we used to go out, and I looked up, and there's these two girls staring down from a window, and they were just looking at the passerbys because it was like, nightlife. There's a bunch of people, very colorful street. And they were just like commenting on the passerbys, and they were just watching, kind of idle. They weren't watching TV. They weren't on their computer. They weren't playing a video game. And I was wondering, like, they kind of reminded me of myself back then. No, I mean, bro, there was TVs back then. Okay, there was TVs back then. You're a fucking young adult moving out. Your first priority was not buying a TV. That was too expensive for us. So we didn't have a TV. Sometimes it took like a few months before the internet person would come install the internet. And even like, it wasn't our priority. We didn't care that much about not having the internet. Yeah, I wasn't born in the 1920s, okay? I'm not that old. And for me, I always had a big family, so I've always had my cousins to hang out with. Yeah, Giga Hag Rima.
The bar cock-blocking you from talking to her. Excuse.
Too afraid of walking by myself nowadays after a spate of stabbing and bashing robberies in local area. I mean, shit. In your local area, that is scary. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'd be afraid too. Can you move somewhere else? Safer? I know it's a big ask. Like, can you move? But I feel like there's no solution to that. But then again, when I was young, I would always put myself in dangerous situations. I was never thinking about the consequences. I didn't give a shit. I did not give a shit. Now, I am much more scared than I was back then about everything. Oh yeah, post-pandemic, people got a lot crazier. That is true. He could try being the stabber.
Excuse me? She's not interested. Even though chances are, she might be. According to the same study on date psychology, 77% of women aged 18 to 30 want to be approached more. So if men are lonely and women are lonely, but men are too afraid to approach women.
That's why I'm saying women are complicated. Like, I'm not trying to dunk on women or something, but it's like women want somebody confident that's gonna, approach them because they've seen it in the movies. But then if the guys approach them and they're being awkward about it, then, oh, that's a creep. So men really have it tough. Like, having Riz as a guy is really difficult. My friend showed me a Reddit thread the other day and asked me what I thought about it. And then he was like, Rima, if you were a guy, you'd have a negative Riz. He was like, you'd be an incel? But that's not true, chat, right? Right? I do think okay, I was really bad at flirting at first. Like, I kid you not, and I'm not bad looking, but my Riz was awful. And you do get better at that. That is something that gets better over time with like practice. My Riz was pretty bad back then. I would totally be part of Hustler University. Yeah. I'd be based in Red Pill.
Nowadays, there's only one thing we can do, ladies. We must approach them. So I did a little research and looked up how to approach men as a woman. Number 1, don't.
Like, the way I envisioned flirting was like how they would flirt in like Friends or like what I'd read in books or something. But my problem is that I only read books from the 1800s. No one thought that was cool, let me tell you that.
Almost every single article, blog post, tweet thread, giving advice to women on how to get a man said some shit like, don't chase him, let him chase you. Be unavailable.
True, they do say that.
Simply
Yes.
pretend he doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Almost every single bit of dating advice
I hate that.
found amounted to let them come to us. But what if they're not coming to us? What do we do now? Well, according to the great philosophers of our time, Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate, the problem is the modern woman. Lazy, entitled, mid. These are the ingredients that create the modern woman. So clearly we have to go back. Back when a cheeseburger was 5 cents and women were lobotomized. That's right, we must return to the 1950s.
One of the most common ways to find a partner these days is by using dating apps and websites. But back in the 1950s, you had to get a little bit more creative. Here's an article from 1958 in McCall's magazine.
I don't know about negative risk, but you probably would be seeing chat's side of statesman more. Like that passing gaze and smile. A his fit would ensue, screaming you touch them. Okay, are you speaking from experience? Okay, who's had this experience that you exchange gaze with a stranger in the subway or something, and there was a his fit, and they started yelling that you touched them? Because Kirsten actually has good takes usually, so I'm surprised about that. I feel like, is it YouTube that's making like all the fear mongering? Because like YouTubers are really good at like nitpicking like all the worst case scenarios. Never happened. Me? What happened to you, Renzu? Okay, but there's some crazy people in the world, you know? So you were unlucky enough to maybe fall on those, but I've exchanged gaze with men, and I know that they weren't trying to flirt with me, and I didn't start yelling at them. Most people once they go, well, at least here in Canada, they just want to get on their way, you know? They're not looking to stop. They got a destination, and they ain't looking to stop. Man, I've got no risk, but I've never been accused of anything or being friendly. I ain't about to find out the hard way. Oh, dating like that. Okay, but I'm not talking about dating. I'm just talking about exchange gaze. Like, no, sorry, not gaze. Gaze, guys. Like, crossing eyes with somebody else or just smiling at them. Yeah, if somebody gets into a hissy fit, that's a red flag. Like, run away right now. Oh, that is crazy, Renzu. That's a crazy person. Yeah, women are like that, though. Women are like that, though, Florano. It's like a lot of girls, they get a boyfriend and they'll ask their friends, do you find him hot? And if the other girls like find him hot, then he's gonna go up in value in their eyes. But shouldn't you just worried about if you find your own boyfriend hot? Like, what's the other's opinion got to do with it? Yeah, making eye contact is what I was talking about. I will trade you 3 gays for 2 cows. Shut up. I've seen people getting the police called on because they claimed that they were being harassed by their male gays. Florida, lol. That's funny because Florida is actually the state that I traveled to, but that was years ago. That was before the pandemic. And I thought people there were very friendly. As a man, we say we like this, see a beautiful woman, imagine an entire life with her, thinks, nah, she's too good for me, doesn't say anything, and leaves men are shy. Dude, well, this is the problem. There you go. This is the problem. It's because everybody gives advice to girls saying, no, you should ignore the guy, let him come to you. But most guys, they're also afraid of doing the first move, so they want girls to approach them. So would you guys prefer if a girl's approached you instead? Like, the dating advice that magazines and online people give is so fucking bad. If he brings you to X restaurant, then throw him in the garbage. That means he disrespect you. Or if he cancels the date, never see him again. What if he had a good reason to cancel? I think there was like one time where the guy, his mother was sick and he needed to bring her to the hospital, and the girl just dumped him because she said he was being disrespectful and blah. Well, you just missed out on your chance. Like, people are way too picky. They're way too picky. Yeah, it doesn't help that there's some weird people on social media screeching, but like, you guys gotta know that social media is not representative of the real world. And I already know I'm gonna get a bunch of pushback on this in the YouTube comment section of my video and stuff like that. No, we really don't. Everybody's just go too fast. They don't really care about each other. We don't care about our neighbors. We don't know who they are. Okay, if you're shy, you're shy. You're just gonna have, there's there's a shoe that fits to everybody. You're just gonna have to find a person. Eventually you'll find a person. They're okay with that. That just fits, it just clicks. Or just get a virtual wife, easy fix. Please, Rima, just say exchanging gazes? Lol. Yeah, I just said it, what's wrong with that? Why do people no one understand what I'm saying? I look at everybody's eyes that I pass, especially when I'm talking to them, because I feel, like, I overthink it so much. I'm like, if I look down, they're gonna think that I'm shy or that I'm afraid of looking in their eyes. So it's like I gotta assert dominance, but sometimes I don't feel like looking at them in the eyes, but I do it anyway. But it can't be too long, because if you look at them too long in the eyes, they think you're flirting with them. That ain't the case. I'm trying to be alone here. The case exchange. Yeah, you gotta show us the superior.
Magazine listed 129 ways for women to get a husband.
This list has gone viral so many times on the internet, and I have been sitting on this video idea for years. And what better time to talk about this now that all you bitches single as fuck. But don't worry, we are going to see if the red pill and schizophrenic Roman statue trad larper accounts on Twitter are correct. Did women in the 1950s have better dating advice than women today? Because apparently what we're doing today, crying on TikTok, is just not working for us.
It's all the same shit.
Let's just dive into this. Let's go. Number 1, get a dog and walk it. Honestly, this is pretty good advice. This is fine advice. If you have a dog, you'll probably go to a dog park and meet other dog people. I could see this working.
Hey, wait, this is what I said.
Become a doggo mom. The amount of times I'm walking through the city and I see a stroller and a fucking dog is in it. Just do not treat your dog like a surrogate child, please. I want to go on vacations and enjoy life. That's why I don't want kids. I have dogs anyway. Won't somebody please watch Mr. Poopsie while I'm gone? He has separation anxiety. Have your car break down at strategic places. Oh no, my brakes suddenly stopped working in front of the Bass Pro Shop. Oh no, not right next to the tall rich man convention. Attend a night school. Take courses men like. If you want to sign up for ancient Roman history class, be my guest. I personally would not go back to school for a man. No man is worth that. I still have nightmares about being in school. Why am I having dreams about math homework at 33 years old? Look in the census reports for places with the most single men. Nevada has 125 females for every 100 females. Ladies, if you want to
move into Nevada.
hang out in the shoe on head fan base. The ratio of men and women here is insane. We got all types of men here. We got the furries, we got the weebs, the libertarians, the conservatives, the liberals,
the Marxists, the anarchists, the agitators, the looters, and people who, in many instances, have absolutely no clue what they are doing.
Read the obituaries to find eligible widowers. What the fuck? Showing up to a funeral like, hey, sorry about your wife. What'd that dick do though? So I'm actually getting these from an article written in 2018 about the advice from the 1950s. And the journalist...
True, just go to a furry convention. Rima would sign up for that Roman Empire class. Yeah, I would. It'd be dope.
DePaulo is constantly writing her own commentary after like almost every single one of these things. Like, look, ready? This one is like, get a job in a medical, dental, or law school. And she writes, become a doctor, dentist, or lawyer. You are a badass, so you don't need to marry one. And the next advice from the 50s is, become a nurse or airline stewardess. They have very high marriage rates. And she's like, no, become a person who thinks for herself. They have very high rates of living the life that works for them. So become a doctor, dentist, or lawyer is good advice because strong, independent woman jobs or something. But become a nurse or airline stewardess is bad advice because... why exactly? Like, I'm sorry, is that not a little sexist? Why is she looking down on being a nurse or an airline worker? The advice some women give to other women is like incredible. It's always just like constant affirmation, constant coddling, constant like, you're doing nothing wrong, sweetie. And then male advice is like, your whole family's gonna die if you don't go to the gym right now. Be nice to everybody. They may have an eligible brother or son. You shouldn't only be being nice to people in order to possibly get laid. Just be nice to everyone in general. Being nice is like the...
That's true, but you could also possibly get laid. That's kind of true that you should, what was the sentence? It's like, you should be nice and inviting to everybody, because everybody knows somebody that could end up being somebody important for you, but that's not a saying, by the way. I don't know if I'm making any sense here. But it's true that just being nice to people, it gives you more opportunities to make friends or to be invited to people because they think to places or to dinners. Or fake being nice, yeah, that works too. Actually, I think the flight stewardess, yeah, they're probably having a great time.
Minimum. And what's sad is some people can't even do that. The bar is in hell. And yet, get a government job overseas. Okay, I'm sorry. No man is worth
I never
becoming
said
a
that.
Fed. Do not become a federal agent for some dick.
Be friendly to ugly men.
Again, just be nice to everyone in general.
What is that
Lowering your
advice?
standards, if they're very high or unrealistic, is a good thing. But don't lower them too much. If you're not
True, true. You never know who's a witch in disguise, and you could get cursed if you're mean to them. Like in The Beauty and the Beast. Very true. Based advice.
attracted to someone, you should not be dating them. And don't get with the first person who's nice to you or shows you attention just because you're lonely. The amount of men and women who like jump into relationships just because they're sad and lonely is way too high. It's almost always a recipe for disaster. Don't date someone who you think is ugly, but like, if he's not over 6 feet or doesn't have the perfect body, like, yeah, give him a chance. You're not perfect either, girl. But if you think he's straight up ugly, different story. So yes, be nice to everyone, including ugly people, but don't date someone you think is ugly.
Tell your friends that you are interested in getting married. Don't keep it a secret.
I mean, hot take, but unless you got like a deformation, being ugly or pretty just mostly comes down to how you put yourself together. I had a friend that used to say being pretty or handsome is about having, you know, nice hair, clothes that fit, and nice teeth.
Oh, we have another author's note. Tell your friends you have no interest whatsoever in getting married. Don't keep it a secret. Tell your mother. Tell all your other relatives. Tell all the random people you meet on the street. Declare it on social media. Bro, this is why we are here now, by the way. People like this.
What if they're bald though? Oh shit, you're out of luck then.
In 2018, telling young women to not even try and just be a strong, independent girl boss. These are the fat, ugly, drunk friend at the bar cock blocking you.
Get lost at football games.
Alright, if I'm at a football game, I'm already lost.
Don't take a job in a company run largely by women.
Yeah,
You
of
would
course, I
never
was
hear
joking
this
about
in
bald
modern
people
day
there.
advice. This is,
Yes,
like,
of course they can have
blasphemous.
charm.
I like the author's note too. Run a company.
Get a job demonstrating fishing tackle in a sporting goods store.
See? Bass Pro Shops. I'm telling you. The last respectable institution in America.
On a plane, train, or bus, don't sit next to a woman. Sit next to a man.
Author's note, spread out all your stuff on the seat next to you and maybe you will get to have the whole row to yourself. The contrast between the like wholesome goofy shit from the 1950s and this like bitter modern asocial shit is so funny.
Go to all reunions of your high school or college class. There may be widowers there.
What is up with this, like, predatory ass advice? Why widowers? Be a rebound for a man who's
It is a video on femcells. Wait, is female loneliness equates to femcells? I guess?
died. Also, I just realized I missed my 10-year high school reunion. Oh well.
I would
don't think
never
anyone
date
would
somebody I knew in high school. Ew.
recognize me anyway. I'd have to like wear an Invader Zim shirt and like trip pants.
Don't be afraid to associate with more attractive girls. They may have some leftovers.
No way!
Doing here? What do you mean? I'm here for the scraps.
Don't room with a girl who is a sad sack and let her pull you down to her level.
I mean, this is pretty good, like, standard advice. Don't surround yourself with negative, miserable people. Like this journalist who will just try to drag you down to her level and attempt to sabotage your dating aspirations.
Learn to paint. Set up easel outside engineering school.
The author's note. If you like to paint, set up your easel where nobody will bother you. Spread your stuff out so nobody will sit next to you. Set your easel up where nobody will bother you. They want you to die alone.
Stumble when you walk into a room that he's in. Carry a hat box.
What? Do we put a hat in
Do the Legally Blonde thing. Easy. Yeah, that's how you get a man, no? That's got 100% pickup rate. Oh, the bend and snap. Yeah, just do the bend and snap. Easy.
I'm the only one that believes her. Callahan totally thinks she's guilty.
Yeah, that's because men are big fat retards, so don't...
Afternoon, ladies.
Hey, how's it going?
Paulette Bonafante.
Yeah, drop your handkerchief and have a man pick it up. Wait,
I've got a pack.
I think it's a little... Where's the bend and snap? That's what we're watching this for. Oh, there it is. She's gonna show it here.
I think I dropped something on the floor that I need to pick up. So you bend and snap. See? Come on, you try.
It's so ridiculous. You would literally take... They think you're schizo if you do that.
And snap. Okay. Yeah. A little less bend, a little more snap. Like this? Good snap.
Yep, and that's how you bend and snap, boys. Now go out there and try it.
Box? What do we put in the box? What's in the box? What's
That's
in the
Legally Blonde. They pretend to drop a pen when they're trying to flirt with a guy, and then they pick it up so they can, you know, arch their back, I guess, and put out their butt and pick up the pen. And then boom, the guy falls in love with them. That's how it works. That's how IRL works. I've seen it in a movie. It must be true.
Wear a band-aid. People always ask what happened. No they won't. This was absolutely written in the 1950s, where people used to talk to each other.
Make a lot of money.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a mating signal. Everybody knows this. It is known.
Why didn't I
Flirt
think of
Maxim.
that? What great advice. Don't be poor. Dropping the handkerchief still works. God, everything seems so wholesome and simple back then. Drop a handkerchief. That's all it took. Hell, like even my mom, what she did to get my dad's attention, she just like rode her bike back and forth in front of his house. Like, that's so adorable and wholesome. Want to know how me and my husband met? He trolled me on Twitter. He was a hater on twitter.com. How do I explain that to my future children?
Stand in a corner and cry softly. Chances are good that he'll come over to
What?
find out what's wrong.
No, chances are people will whip out their cell phone and start filming you, and then you go viral. Crazy Karen cries in corner.
Buy a convertible. Men like to
Oh,
ride
she
in
married
them.
one of her viewers? Really?
Learn
Damn,
how
I
to
didn't know
bake
that.
tasty apple pies. Bring one into the office and let the eligible bachelors taste it.
Oh my god.
Honestly, this is pretty cute advice. I could see this maybe working. But like, people are so weird about people like dating at work nowadays. That used to be like the number one place.
What if I don't know how to bake a pie? Can I just buy one and pretend I baked it?
People would meet their spouse, and now it's like saying Susan looks nice today is sexual harassment. I like the author's note here. Learn how to bake tasty apple pies. Eat them. Don't do anything for a man ever. Do everything for yourself. Wow, thanks, Journo. You helped so much. Female loneliness cured.
Laugh at his jokes.
Laugh at his jokes if they are funny.
Learn how to bake a pie? No, I don't think I will.
Attractive people make the terrible mistake of assuming that they are funny because simps and simpettes will laugh at any joke they say, no matter if it's funny or not. You are not funny. People just want to f you. Know the difference.
Accidentally have your purse fly open.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't get the author's notes. Rima would just microwave the pie with the wrapping, yeah. Me too. I also think it's missing I don't get the journalist's notes on these. I don't really get it. I've just been pretending to understand.
Contents all over the street.
Oh no, I dropped my monster tampon that I use for my magnum pussy.
Wear high heels most of the time. They're sexier.
Journo note. This has become my favorite thing. Wear shoes with no heels. They are way more comfortable. Or don't wear
What?
shoes at all. Okay.
Barefoot?
Terrible advice. Wear shoes. You don't want to attract the foot guys. Trust me. I know some of them are in this comment section right now.
Oh no,
as
some
we
of them are in my
speak.
chat.
Horrifying. But yes, heels are attractive. Heels are pretty. They make your ass look good. They make your legs look good. I don't see how this is...
Oh, it's a contrast between the helpful advice and the typical feminist attitude? Oh, okay. Oh, that's what it's meant to be. Shoes are just a construct of society. But what if it's dirty? What if you get like a shard or a splinter?
Bad advice. Unless he happens to be shorter than you are. Oof. The manlet's catching strays even back in 1958.
Damn.
Tell him he's handsome. Journo note, let's go! Talk to someone who is less needy and insecure. This bitch doesn't even want you complimenting men that you are interested in. Also, ladies, pro tip, if you want him to just melt in your hands, don't say he's handsome. You can do that. But next time you're like walking with him or something, just be like, I feel very protected when I'm with you. He will be locked the fuck in. How does it feel in like complimenting a man or a woman that you are attracted to, that you are trying to date? Why does that make them insecure or needy?
Take good care of your health. Men don't like girls who are ill.
Oh, you like compliments? You're insecure and needy. Fuck you. Also, do you want to date me, people shy? Ooh.
Get a sunburn. Go on a diet if you need to.
You would never, ever see this advice today. What's crazy is like in the early 2000s, very, very skinny was the look. Like I remember being a kid and seeing things about how like fat Britney Spears is when she looked like this. And now we've gone completely 180 where it's like health and fitness be damned, Lizzo is a queen. Like can we just be normal about this? Why is there no middle ground between like having an eating disorder and having an eating disorder?
When you are with him, order your steak rare.
Absolutely not. I eat my steaks well done. Not even well done. I eat that shit. Congratulations.
Don't tell him about your allergies. Don't be too fussy. Don't whine. Girls who whine stay on the vine. Double date with a gay, happily married couple. Let him see what it's like.
This has such a different meaning
That-
today.
wait,
Double
really?
date with a gay couple. Let him see what it's like.
Be flexible.
Oh.
If he decides to skip the dance and go rowing on the lake, go. Even if you're wearing your best evening gown.
Journo note. Tell him that's fine, but he has to wear the evening gown and the heels.
Bruh.
Force feminize your date. 129 ways to get a boy wife.
Turn wolves into husband material by assuming they have honor.
Okay, I'm so fucking brain broken. I'm such a degenerate that like when I read this, I immediately thought of like Legoshi the wolf from Beastars. Like, oh, he'd make a good husband.
I'm thinking about
wait,
that wolf guy that Bao always goons on Twitter.
How old is he? Hold on. Oh god. Oh god, wait, he's 17. Wait.
Resist the urge to make him over. Before marriage, that is.
So basically, trap him and then mold him into your perfect mate. Okay.
Blade,
I swear this
yeah.
advice is getting more insane the further we go. The lobotomy is kicking in.
Remain innocent, but not ignorant. If he's rich, tell him you like his money. The honesty will intrigue him.
Will it? Honestly, maybe. If he doesn't mind marrying a gold digger, I guess. But if it's just like a dude looking for love, and you're just like, I like your money, it's over. You fucked it up.
Never let him believe your career is more important to you than marriage. Clip and mail him a funny cartoon that means something to the both of you.
Literally the 1950s version of sending a meme.
True.
Stop being a mama's girl. Don't let him think he'll have in-law trouble, even if you know he will.
Journo note. Guess who never has in-law trouble? People who stay single.
But it's a dating advice article, so isn't that the opposite thing of staying single? Dude, if somebody sends you like a handwritten letter or like a clipped on cartoon thing, like IRL, like not just sending a meme, you'd think they're weird. You'd think they're creeps. Like, how'd you find my address? I'm scared. Oh, I had this one girl sending me TikToks that were not funny. I wanted to off myself each time she sent me one. Real? All right, correction, chat. Only send actually funny memes. Not that dog shit type that's unfunny, okay? Not that girl type of humor. Only the real funny stuff, okay?
What other articles has this woman written? Let's look this up. The real sex lives of middle-aged single women. A world without marriage. The unsung joy of living alone. The thrill of going to holiday parties alone.
That's
By being in a
horrible.
long-term relationship.
Every time I go to a holiday party, my family asks me, so, you got somebody? When are you gonna get a boyfriend? It's so fucking annoying.
May make women more depressed. There are more single people than ever. That's not a bad thing. The profound rewards of staying single. I'm done. This is just sad. This is sadder than Anita Sarkeesian having a wedding-themed birthday party and marrying herself.
What?
You're gonna look at this and tell me there's no female
What?
loneliness epidemic? Really? Point out to him that the death rate of single men is twice that of
That
married
is
men.
beyond pathetic. Holy shit. Point out to him that the death rate of single men is twice that of married men.
Marry me or you'll die an early death. If your mother is fat, tell him you take after your father. If he's fat too, tell him you're adopted. It was a different time. Stow away on a battleship. Rent a billboard and post your picture and telephone number on it.
No. What? You look so desperate.
Do not do this. Sink at a fashionable beach at high noon. Make and sell toupees. Bald men are easy catches. Don't marry him if he has
Bald men's catching stray.
too many loose buttons. The end. So ladies, what have we learned? Follow around your hot friends for scraps, get a sunburn, and carry around a hat box. Wow, this will surely solve female loneliness.
No, it is true, but it kind of sounds like a threat though. If you're like, marry me or you have twice as more chance of dying, just saying, but you know, your choice at the end.
No, but for real, some of this advice was actually much better than like any modern dating advice I've seen. Like at least some of this advice was go the f outside and talk to Ben, as opposed to don't talk to him, like let him chase you, don't even look him in the eyes. Also, men, I'm curious, which one of these would actually work on you? Would you go over to a woman that was crying and ask what's wrong? Does the hat box do it for you? I'm curious. By the way, the link to the whole list will be in the description. I would love to see your own takes on this list, like your reactions, your own video responses to this list. I've been seeing a lot of Vtubers responding to my videos lately. So if one of
Hey,
you anime freaks are
hold
reacting
up.
to this right now,
Wait. I'm being called out right now. I don't like this. She's becoming sentient, chat.
I see you. So that was that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If not, I've still
I hate this.
20-something minutes from your life that you will never get back. But if you did like it, please consider donating to my Patreon, link down below. We're gonna start doing movie nights together, and I would love to see you there. And I will see you next time with a new video. Bye!
Scatter. Closing thought. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of this video? Female loneliness and how to fix it. I don't think, I feel like most friends have terrible dating advice to their other girlfriends, and they usually give advice that they wouldn't even follow themselves. Like, at the first sign of trouble, they're like, oh, throw him away. Oh, he's being disrespectful. Oh, he's an awful person. Yeah, I don't know. The modern dating scene is a complete mess, and we're all doomed. We're probably gonna die alone. But hey, we'll have a merry and jolly time since then. Till then.